team in the league and maybe the very best defense in the league. Mike McDonald has these guys playing at all three levels, and they gave C.J. Stroud fits. Seattle, a team we're not talking about, they should be on our radar.
I'm completely with you on that one. Jeffrey, how about you? Give me another team everyone's not talking about.
Indianapolis Colts, the best team in the NFL. And they get, listen,
Shocking.
y'all hear it from me, but no one else is talking about this team. Here's the other part. The defense. No, they're talking about their offense. Their defense, Kmart, is sneaky good. How many 100 yards rushers have they given to them? None. They locking people down, and they're making people try to beat them through the air. They're making them play check down football. This is a very balanced football team and one that will travel. I'm letting y'all know.
They have Jeff so excited he's cutting himself off mid-sentence again. We all love it. Kmart, give me something you're hot on.
All right, listen, all credit to Dan Campbell, but defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard needs to be a household name. Think about this Lions secondary. Weeks 1 through 4, same lineup. Week 7, they literally had 4 different guys in their secondary, and they still made life hell for Baker Mayfield. So, yeah, the Lions, their defense also traveled.
He did a great job. Yet Lions, another one of those 5-2 teams. And then there are the Packers. Dominique, what are you hot on?
I just want the Packers to finally put it all together offensively. Like, they're surprisingly good on 3rd and long situations. Like, some of the more difficult things to do offensively, they're good at. They have a super talented quarterback, great weapons. Matthew Golden is coming on. They got Tucker Kraft. I want them to put up numbers up against this Steelers defense that isn't quite what we all thought it was. We saw how they struggled.
That's an understatement.
In defense of the Steelers defense is they actually do win a lot of pass rush. Like, the pass rush win rate is very high. They don't convert it to a lot of sacks, which is a problem, but their coverage hasn't been as good. It feels like Ramsey has lost a little bit of a step, which as a defensive back, it matters a lot. But that defense is the core of what that team's supposed to be, and they haven't been it so far.
That's the point. I really want to start the conversation there. Look, the week that Aaron Rodgers is playing the Packers, you feel like you want to start the conversation with him and what he will do against the Green Bay defense and Micah Parsons and all that. But the truth is, the Steeler defense, and your advanced stats are what they are, but the reality is they're giving up points and chunks and all kinds of stuff. This was supposed to be the year that Rodgers just shows up and does just enough, and then the Steelers do their Steeler thing by defense and running the ball. The Steeler defense might be the most disappointing unit, all things considered, Jeff, to me, in the entire NFL.
Yeah, not maybe. They definitely are. Like you said, for the money they put in this defense and the expectations of what this defense was going to be, they let the Bengals, who hadn't run the ball on anybody all season, rush for 100 yards in 10 carries. That is insane. Like, you would never, the Steelers never gave up 100-yard rushers. Yeah. And what does that do? It opens up for Chase, for Higgins, for a guy like Flacco, for your offensive line to be able to win in one-on-one pass rush. You have to earn the right to rush the passer. Right. And the problem for the Steelers is, and Mike Tomlin said this at halftime, we got to make them a one-dimensional football team. We haven't earned that right. They have got to earn that by shutting the run game down and making people be one-dimensional. That's what the Steelers have done for 25 years, and what you fully expect, because you thought Rodgers was going to walk in and be able to just, the same thing that he had from the Jets. Their defense is going to be good enough. All you got to do is just be status quo, just be average, and we'll win a lot of games. The problem is they're asking him to win games, not just be okay.
Right, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying what's most alarming about it, and you can speak to this, is that this offseason, like, this isn't a surprise. They went out and they acquired Jalen Ramsey. They acquired Darius Slay. Right. They acquired Thornhill. Then they re-upped with Deshaun Elliott. And then they said, hey, we still have Porter who's going to come in. So you thought that they had all the pieces, and it was a point of emphasis this offseason, and it's still not good enough. Right. That's what alarms you this far into the season.
Yeah, and Hayward and Watt, like those guys, and Queen, like the front seven is really what's been like the strong suit. And they added these DBs, which we thought was going to help. And, I mean, in Ramsey's defense, he had a little bit of a rough game, but they threw at Chase. Like, if you go 50% as a DB, you're living great. You can't throw 23 times and expect me to stop him every time. So they're asking a lot more of those DBs. We need some sacks. We need some turnovers.
So the reality is that's one side of it. That's the Steeler defense. But the storyline here, of course, this is a grudge match, 20 years in the making. Aaron Rodgers, one of the all-time great careers ever at Green Bay, as Favre did a generation ago, going back up against the Packers. That's the storyline here at a time where Rodgers is playing pretty well.
He's playing pretty well. Even when I watch them in person, when you watch Steelers offense, at times they're scuffling, right? You just watch them, even when they played the Browns, it was like, okay, both of these offenses don't look good. And then here comes Rodgers, and he finds DK deep. That's part of the reason they got DK, right, is because when everything else seems to falter, I can find DK in the end zone or deep, and that seems to be the big-ticket item. But otherwise, I don't know. I just feel like there's still some questions on this offense. But Rodgers, when you need a big play, he's still able to find his guys. Pat Frying with 2 touchdowns the last game.
How about the emotions of it? What would you anticipate, Jeff? I mean, you were close. You are so close to Peyton. He goes back and plays, against the Colts once upon a time. You, as a Green Bay Packer, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What would you imagine this is going to be like?
These are some of the most, I guess, nerve-wracking pre-games that you have, right? You love this team, man. You know every equipment guy, you know every doctor, you know all the staff, all the coaches. You spent, 2 decades with these people. So you have a relationship with literally everybody in the building, and they're standing on the other side of you. And it is a very odd feeling when you look over and you've worn that uniform for your whole career, and now you're in a different uniform and you're expected to do different things. So there are a ton of emotions. And let me tell you, anybody who's like, it's just a game, it's not just a game, bro. You want to beat the team, and this is the group that let him go. They let you go for the guy behind you, right? So they let you go for love. The head coach didn't want you. He didn't want, so it was personal. It was a little different for me because the regime changed, right? Like everybody left. He's looking at all the same guys. He was the piece that was removed with expectations they were going to do something
I remember
special.
when Favre went back there the first time as a Viking. It was a divisional game. He went into Green Bay and won. The Packers were not. They were sort of still building their way back. Now the Packers are expected to win this game. I like the question on the screen. If I'm telling you right now one of these 2 quarterbacks is going to be the reason his team wins on Sunday night, which quarterback is it going to be?
I mean, I got to go with Jordan Love. Like, I think that their offense, I made this argument earlier. I think their offense is on the verge. They have the weapons. They have the talent. They have the ability to do it. And they're going up against, which I never thought I'd be able to say this, they're going up against the weaker defense in what they're facing with the Steelers. What Micah Parsons has been doing all season. Like, the sack finally showed up last week. But he's just a game wrecker. He's someone that requires a lot of your attention, and it's not fair to the rest of that defense because that defense was good without him. Their one shortcoming last year was pass rush. Like, they couldn't win with 4. They can win with 1 now.
They got their
That
guy.
man is a problem.
Yeah.
So this defense, I think, has been protecting this team to some degree, and I think they have another level to go up.
Final word.
My final word is that you look at what this Packers offense is, and you say, well, they don't have a number 1 wide receiver. Well, everybody eats. They've had 4 different players lead them in receiving yards, and you think, well, Jordan Love throws a bad pick when it matters. Jordan Love's been one of the clutch quarterbacks in the league. He's got 10 touchdowns to 2 interceptions in those big moments. I feel like this is more almost about Jordan Love finally saying to Rodgers, who used to be his, the mentor and the protege, hey, it's my turn now. I'm going to take that. Also, I don't think the game has the same as it's in Pittsburgh. If it was in Green Bay, I have a different feel towards this. For Rodgers, I don't know.
The bottom line is the Packers are a better team. Both sides of the ball. They should clearly win this game. So when you say who's more trustworthy, I like Aaron Rodgers just from a quarterback play better. He didn't got a team around him. Like that's the problem, right?
Yeah, the best
you can only
player
go in.